before we start, I just need to say something. This is not a kids video. This is not a video meant for children. If you are a little kid watching this, hey, come closer. Yeah, like this. Come here. Boo! Scary image, get scared, run to your mom, right now. But maybe before you do that, I have my commissions open. I'm trying to save up money to see my friends in December. So if you can please grab her credit card and spend all of her money on artwork from me, under this link that you can find in the description, I would be very, very thankful. Anyway, going back to the video. Do you ever just feel like making a video that will alienate most of your audience? Hi, if you follow me on like any social media, you'd know that I'm a big Littlest pet shop fan. I loved these little toys ever since I was a toddler, and in recent years my interest has returned in full force. Because of this, I am no stranger to the current LPS sale environment. You know, scalpers selling brand new pets that you can get in stores for double their original price, scammers trying to pass off fakes as real pets, and people who don't know crap about these toys thinking they can sell their scratched up Persian for a price of an actual Persian cat. Things like this are exactly why I don't use Depop or Mercari, but mainly because they're not available in my country. I use OLX and Vinted like a true Polish patriot, but they have the same issue, so in the end it doesn't really matter. However, all throughout my searches for reasonably priced bull terriers and blind box figurines that people didn't want, I always find one type of pet that sells for way cheaper than any other. Sticker eyes. These dreaded things are disliked by collectors and community at large, but what even are they? Let's rewind. Back in the earliest generations of Littlest Pet Shop, when the series was in what a lot of the fans would call its golden age, most figurines had painted eyes. That wasn't the case for all of them though. Some would instead have their eyes stamped on, presumably in order to save money, but I can't say for certain since I've never worked at a toy factory. If you take a sticker eye LPS and a regular Gen 1 or 2 pet for comparison, you can definitely see the difference. The painted eyes have much more of a layered look to them, with airbrush marks sometimes visible. On the other hand, sticker eyes are just one piece and have a, well, sticker look. You can tell they've been stamped on. But if that was the only complaint people had, they wouldn't be as hated as they are. The real reason is that, as opposed to normal LPS, their eyes aren't molded into the figurine, leading to some interesting results. Yeah, these figurines are well known for being weird, and tend to end up on a lot of worst looking LPS lists. I honestly can't argue with that. So, in order to celebrate those little freaks, I decided to rank a bunch of them to see how messed up they really look. However, this is not the only reason I'm doing this. Although sticker eye LPS get a lot of hate, there's plenty of folks who defend them and think the worst examples are cherry-picked from a selection of relatively normal pets. Maybe at the end of this video I'll walk out with a newfound appreciation for sticker eyes. Or maybe not, who knows. Also, I recorded the next part of the video kind of late, and I end up using a lot of really weird, grammatically incorrect phrasings, the most egregious probably being me constantly using come in as opposed to coming up, so yeah, just roll with that, sorry. Okay, now we're moving to the main part of the video where I actually rate the sticker eye LPS on how screwed up they look. I made this amazing tier list to help us. Also, as you may have noticed, I did not include every single sticker-eyed LPS just because I thought it would be boring and redundant. So I just chose some highlights, but I made sure there would be variety. So here are my rankings. Wonky but Charming is for LPS that maybe look a little bit weird, but I think they have a lot of charm. And Pretty Normal is just Littlest Pet Shop that look normal. Okay looking are the passable ones, the ones that I don't feel very strongly for, but also they're not particularly bad. Not great are the ones where I start thinking that these sticker eye LPS might not be very good looking. Can you tell that this part of the video is not scripted and I am just making stuff up? Yeah, ugly, self-explanatory, and who thought this was a good idea is the bottom of the barrel, the ones that I really think should not have even been produced, because what the hell is this? So, starting with this little bunny, I think she looks pretty cute. I think we are starting very strong here. She is going into the pretty normal category. Next, we're moving on onto this dachshund, and originally, I was gonna actually put her in the wonky but charming category, but then I actually looked up more pictures of how this LPS actually looks in real life, and I realized that when it comes to the sticker LPS, you can never trust the promotional images. This is not good. I don't think this is, like, particularly super ugly, but it looks so bad that I don't think this should have made its way out of production, and just because of this lack of quality control when it comes to this specific LPS, I am putting her in who thought this was a good idea. Next on, we're moving on to this seahorse, and honestly, I think she is the it girl. I think she is the moment. Hashtag slay queen girl boss. I think this seahorse is an icon, and just because of this, I'm moving her into wonky but charming. Next up, we're checking out this little Pomeranian here. I think it's a pretty fucking cute Pomeranian. Yes, the ones that do actually have mottled eyes look way cuter, but I think this one is still pretty adorable, and I've saw some people not liking this one, and I honestly do not understand why. I'm putting her in wonky but charming. Also, sorry for constantly switching the pronouns on these LPS. It's not like they would care, but I mean, there might be someone in the audience who feels particularly passionate about that. Next of all, I want to talk about the pet triplets. So, a lot of the pets in the pet triplet sets had sticker eyes, and I just want to get all of them out of the way immediately, because I feel like they're kind of in like the same category. I didn't want to do all of the pet triplets, so I just picked one LPS from each set. I picked them randomly, not really picking like which one looked the best or which one looked the worst, just so all of them can have a fair chance. And I want to start with this bunny. This bunny looks okay. I do not have any strong feelings about this bunny. It's okay looking. Next of all, we're moving into this kitten. In this specific video, I am focusing more on like the sticker eyes themselves than on the molds. But I just wanted to say that me and my friend recently have been browsing through Reddit posts where people just posted what their least favorite LPS is, and the friend that I was browsing this with has no idea about LPS. And when I was explaining to him what these pet triplet sets are and that they're basically just like little baby LPS, he was just looking at this cat, and then he turned to me and he said, "Is it too late to abort them?" Anyway, I think this cat looks fine, but also kind of weird. So the bunny is definitely a better looking one, so it's going into not great. Next of all, I want to talk about this hamster, and I think the eyes are fine on it. The eyes themselves are fine, and that's why I'm putting it in okay looking, but this hamster looks so much like a human baby to me, it creeps me out. It looks like how a baby would look like in the Goofy movie universe, and I don't like it. But we're judging the sticker eyes here and not the actual pets, so it's going into okay looking anyway. And one last tangent about the pet triplets and about the molds. I have a beef with the dog pet triplets, this specific set of dog pet triplets. They came out with like other ones later on and they were like fine, but this specific set, do you guys know when there is a cartoon that has a bug character in it, and maybe this character is meant to be like a specific bug, maybe it's meant to be like a caterpillar or a fly or something, but it honestly doesn't resemble that animal at all. Like maybe it has 2 eyes or 4 limbs or human teeth and these like large human-like cartoon eyes. And like, it is not really a cartoon of a bug anymore. It's a cartoon of an idea of a bug. That's how I feel about these puppies. Like with a lot of LPS, you can like look at them and immediately some kind of real dog breed pops into your head. And even with the ones that don't really look like a specific breed, you often like look at it and think to yourself, oh, I've seen a dog in real life that looks like this. You cannot convince me that there are dogs in this world that look like this. You cannot convince me that there are dogs with these weird bunny ears, with these like bizarre anime hair tufts, and there are certainly no dogs with these weird human-shaped eyes. And that's why it's going into not great. Now, coming back to this specific hamster, I really like this hamster because while a lot of the LPS look like they're happy, to me for some reason this hamster looks like it's trying to hiss at you. But honestly, I do kind of like the eyes. I think they look pretty cute, so they're going into pretty normal. Now, we're moving into this cute little chinchilla, and yeah, it's pretty okay looking. Actually, maybe just normal. I think it's pretty alright. Now, the ant. This is actually one of the LPS I owned as a little kid, and I always thought it looked pretty normal. But then I recently saw how actual ant LPS look like, and I realized they're actually really cute looking, in opposed to this. Well, okay, maybe I'm being a little bit too rough on it. I think it's honestly pretty, okay. Oh no, well, no, let's just put it in not great. We have this bee, which is another LPS that I own. I recently got it from a friend, and I honestly think it's, pretty cute. Maybe it's not as good as the other bees, but I still think it's alright, so it's going into, okay looking. This LPS that we're gonna talk about next introduced me to the fact that some LPS actually have sticker-eyed variant. And I want you to look at this gorgeous peacock LPS. Look how beautiful it is. Now I want you to look at this. Yeah, no way, who thought this was a good idea, genuinely. Okay, now we're going to talk about another LPS that I owned as a kid. Apparently it's also a mascot of a LPS tuber, I think. I never got into LPS tube as a little kid. I was too busy watching top 10 scariest Vocaloid song videos. Part of me wants to say it's okay looking, but honestly, I think it just might be my nostalgia talking, so I'm just gonna put it in not great. There's been a lack of ugly LPS right now, but I think it's about to change because we're coming into this specific spaniel, and although I don't think it looks awful, there's something very weirdly uncanny about it. It has an issue that I think quite a few of these sticker eye LPS have, which is that they kind of look like bootlegs. So yeah, he's going into ugly. Next of all, we have this chick. Now, I think a lot of people would be much more unforgiving towards this cute little chicken. I don't think it looks particularly bad, and one reason I may like it is because, like, when I'm looking at it, I can imagine a specific role this Littlest pet shop could play in a LPS story made up by, like, a little kid. Maybe she could be, like, a celebrity. Or maybe she could be, like, somebody's, like, rich stepmom that imprisons them in her basement because she is jealous of their cool wolf powers. Anyway, I think she's going into okay looking. Now, a few months ago, I was looking for Collie LPS on Vinted, and I found somebody trying to sell this Collie with, like, the worst fucking roast in the description. They were just going on and on how unlovable and ugly this specific Collie is. I did not buy it, but I honestly regret not doing that, because poor Collie. Especially because I think I'm honestly very fond of this specific Collie. I like their silly little expression. I think it's so adorable. It's going into wonky but charming. Now, let's move on to this horse, and I'm just immediately putting it on ugly because it has the same issue as that spaniel, where in my opinion it just kind of looks like a bootleg. Now, this little kitty has some weird ass eyes, that's what I'm gonna say. They're not, like, awful looking, but I just don't like the way it's looking at me. It just looks suspicious. It looks like it knows something that I don't, and that's why it's going into not great. Now, this hamster is another LPS that I had as a child. This one I actually ended up selling. I wonder where he is now. And honestly, this is another case where the promotional photo looks way better than the actual LPS. It's not as bad as, like, with the dachshund, so it's just gonna go in ugly, because honestly, also the stickers just don't look very good. They have the same issue as the cat from before. But fortunately, we are saved by this next kitty, which I honestly think looks pretty normal. This is also the opinion that I share about our next LPS, which is this cute little mouse. But I just wanted you to take a look at the promotional picture that was used for this LPS. Because, oh my god, what happened? Thank God somebody looked at it and decided, no, this cannot be released, because if it did, it would go right down to who thought this was a good idea. But fortunately, somebody realized their mistakes, so she's going into pretty normal. Now we have another spaniel, and maybe you have noticed a little bit of a pattern right here. There is certainly a lot of these sticker-eyed LPS who are winking or who are doing separate things with their eyes. I feel like this was done to add some kind of, like, personality to the LPS, and while sometimes I think it looks alright, the other times not really. And with this specific LPS, I just don't like how small its other eye is. So it's going into not great, because I feel like it still had potential. This duckling, I don't know what to say, it's just going in ugly. I'm sorry. I know you're looking at me with those big ol' eyes trying to convince me to put you in pretty normal or wonky but charming, but sorry. So, honestly, I don't have hard feelings about this seahorse. I'm gonna put it in okay looking because I think it's okay. Now, this bunny is another LPS that I owned as a kid, and I think it's honestly pretty cute. But, I don't think she really deserves to go in wonky but charming, because she's not really my favorite, so I'm just gonna put her in pretty normal. Yeah, I think we all know where this raccoon is going. I'm not even gonna say it. Now, we're moving on to this wolf cat. And the thing about this wolf cat is, when I was once again looking for a wolf cat LPS a few months ago, I saw this one on sale a lot for way less than what the other wolf cats were being sold for. And that's a pattern with a lot of these sticker LPS, which is something that I probably talked about in the earlier part of this video, but I am filming this first. This one's going in not great. Also, I realized I put it by accident twice, so we're just gonna put those two wolf cats in ugly. This specific panda, a lot of you people probably recognize this panda because it was the logo for Littlest pet shop for like a good while. And I really like the logo, but I don't think I like this panda. Once again, it has that weird thing where one of the eyes is normal and the other one is like weirdly squinting. Yeah, it's just going into not great. Now, I feel like I have met people in real life that look like this specific ostrich. There's something weirdly real about this, but it doesn't really make it look better. It's just going into not great. Now, this armadillo, I don't know what to say. I feel like it speaks for itself. It has this weird death stare that makes it look like a bad taxidermy. Who thought this was a good idea? Once again, we have an LPS with like a very weird expression. This seagull looks very confused, worried, scared. It can honestly be kind of like a Rorschach test situation where we just show the seagull to people and try to figure out what they read from it. I'm honestly kind of fond of this seagull, but not really so fond as to put it higher, so it's going into not great. Now, I have not seen many LPS with like these printed out extensions to like their normal expressions, at least not in a way that is done on this peacock. I kind of love how it looks like that one Roblox face. I think this LPS might have been a trendsetter when it comes to that, but it's still ugly. This Yorkie is honestly pretty unremarkable. I don't think it looks particularly awful. I'm gonna put it in okay looking. At first, I wanted to put this cat in there too, but I do not vibe with these blinking LPS because they just can't get the eyes to look normal. They're all kind of too small or weirdly lopsided. I just think all of them might just be doomed, so it's going into not great. And now we're coming into our last one. This weird pink mouse. And it's ugly. After finishing the tier list, I can absolutely see where the hate for sticker eye pets comes from. Although there are some really cute ones, and plenty of ones that look relatively normal, there's also a good chunk that just look weird and off. But on the other hand, you can say that about some normal LPS as well. As a kid, I used to own a Generation 1 poodle that I got as a hand-me-down from a family friend, and the kids at the playground used to tell me it was a fake all the time. In the end, I think it really just comes down to preference. As of Generation 7, both of these methods have been retired in favor of printing the eyes on the figurines, which in itself proved to be controversial. Similar to sticker eyes, there have been a few cases of egregious factory errors, as well as the eyes looking grainy and out of focus. Who knows? Maybe soon we'll get a wave of sticker eye nostalgia, people saying they wish new pets would have them instead of these ugly, grainy prints. Only time will tell. Till then, I'm Pidgecore, thank you for watching, and subscribe.